Just had a good workout. You know, now it's time to go feed the fish. I've been thinking. I've been contemplating a few things. This stuff just doesn't make any sense to me. Look at my fish. See, they're all lining up saying, "Feed me. It's time to eat." You know, come 8 o'clock in the morning, my fish, if I'm not down here feeding them, they're lining up waiting for me. So let me get a second and get these jokers some food, so they'll leave me alone. I'm coming. One second. There you go. Go for it. Yum, yum, yum. So, I was thinking about some of my liberal friends that I grew up with, and how we appear to be so diametrically opposed politically. And I don't think we're really opposed. I think that we have more common ground than many of them want to admit. Or maybe I admit. I don't think any of them want their children to grow up in a bad environment. Just like I believe in clean air and clean water. I mean, it's stupid to think that conservatives don't want clean air, clean water. We have to drink the same water and breathe the same air as everyone else. We want our children to be safe and healthy, just like everybody else. But I don't think my liberal friends really want their children to have to walk up and down streets like in San Francisco where there's needles on the ground, or different places where now in California it's legal to be publicly intoxicated. People can be laid out on the street full of vomit and waste or whatever because they're intoxicated, and the police can't arrest them because of these silly laws that some of these politicians have put into place. I really, truly don't think that my friends want their grandchildren, their little granddaughters, going into a public bathroom, say like at a Target or wherever, and find a man in there. Particularly if some young man has to bring his daughter to a restroom because his wife isn't there. And she's at that age where normally, you get to this age where when little girls are little, men understand when a man brings her into the restroom with him. There's this camaraderie where we give her respect. We know that this guy has his daughter and he has to take care of her. So, and she's so young, she's at an innocent age where she isn't really understanding the differences. But when they get older, when they get to that age where it's virtually improper to bring her into a men's restroom, and if your wife or sister or a female friend isn't available, you trust that she's going to go in there and be okay. Because I know men, because we were always at the guard. If we had to take our daughters in and she was in there too long, we were going to try to send somebody in there, or if we had to, we'd go in there. But now we got this environment where they're trying to make it socially acceptable for men to be in women's restrooms because they identify as a woman. I don't think my liberal friends really believe in that. I don't think they want that for their children. I just can't understand how anyone would want their children to experience that. Same difference, when my kids were growing up, we had to go to all the football games, all the practices, all this stuff. And I read recently where some transgender guy was beating these females in cycling. Now, I can't imagine a man wanting to sit down there and watch another boy or man beat his daughter in wrestling or cycling or track, or let me settle this thing down, or anything like that. Why would we want to put up with that nonsense? And we don't have to. We need to bring our society back to normalcy. I believe in a two-party system. You need to have a balance of thought, because men and women and humans by nature, we're fallible. So we need, I think that's a little bit better. We need people to check us. But if one side goes way too far, I mean, if they're just going off the rails, then you got to put a stop to it. You can't hold on to those people just because they're my team. If your team is corrupt, it needs to be fixed. The only way we're going to fix it is to hold these people accountable. I mean, anybody my age, I'm approaching my 66th year very quickly. They've lived long enough to see a society where there was no even thought of what is a man and what is a woman. That we knew whether we obeyed the laws of decency or not, we understood them. And we respect each other as best we could. And the laws of society were made in a manner that looked after the family unit first. And there was a reverence and a respect for God. But we don't have that anymore. And we have too many people that are willing to sit on the sidelines excuse me, and allow the corruption of our society to go unabated. We can't afford that. And the people of my generation, the people that are old enough to know better, need to stand up and inform these younger people what is going on and what happened before this society. Look, we have children that are growing up in a society that are being told that they're not even the sex they are if they don't want to be. The seeds of confusion were never sown in my generation as far as our sexuality. This is nonsense. This is evil. And it is up to us to stand up. And if your party, the people you affiliate with, the people you associate with, the people that you vote for are going against basic human decency and morality, excuse me, you need to put a stop to it. You need to make them change or you change. You need to either get them to act right or vote against them. If you really care about your society, if you really care about the future of your grandchildren's children, it's time to step up. And particularly in the state of California. We have the most populous state in the nation. And it's going to hell in the handbasket. And the reason being, my generation, 60s generation, we did love and drugs, and now we're reaping the whirlwind of the crap that we created. For those of us that are left, it's time to repent, step up, and make a difference. Now I fed the fish, it's time to feed me. Sam Tolley, and I'm out.